Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's start. A little bit late. We've emptied our inventory, so that's nice. We're definitely holding on to the heavy rifle. That was just way too useful. I might get rid of Peps. I keep not really having a lot of use for it.
Jensen, Sarif had me hack the convention center security logs for you. Sandoval signed out. He isn't there.
Taggart will know where he went.
You really think he'll tell you in the middle of a riot? In front of all the media?
He will if I ask real nice.
Well, if that doesn't work, he also has a dressing room backstage. Seems to me a man like Taggart must keep close track of his employees. Speaking of which, I also backtraced that breach in our own firewall. The one Sarif opened but forgot to tell us about.
The one he was using right before he hired me.
He's on stage now.
Right.
Looks like our boss was being chatty with a private detective named Brent Radford. He lives on Earl's Court, in case you want to get chatty with him too.
Well, but that's on the other side of town. God dang it. All right, hang on. I have an idea. Do a hard save here. And then let's go across town. As a tool rather than a weapon. So I'm guessing it could disable cameras, but probably only temporarily, just like the stun gun, right? But what else could I use that for? They literally have cops on the roof. Oh my god. Hey, Act. Oh, using it on locks. Now, there's an idea. Next time we encounter a lock, let's try that. See if it works. I've been debating the kit in this game. In fact, I have been specifically debating the kit relative to Splinter Cell. Because Splinter Cell had decent but not amazing kit. And we know how many positives decent but not amazing turns into. And I have to admit, the guns of this game are not impressive.
You wait for them to save you?
Modding the guns is nice.
Learn.
But the guns themselves are just pretty vanilla.
They're among us.
Just grab some ammo there. Okay.
Put that away. Unless you're gonna finish me off. Jensen? Oh, Christ.
Brent Radford?
In the flesh. For now.
How do you know my name? What happened here?
Answers for favors. There's a trauma kit I keep somewhere around here. Find it.
You need a doctor. I'll get help.
No. No time. They could be back. Any minute. Find the kit quickly. If you want answers.
Okay.
I'll be back.
I'm not saying it's a negative Black Balkan. I'm just saying I'm not super impressed with it, that's all. I've seen really games with really good gun kit, you know. It makes sense, though. This isn't an FPS, so it makes sense that they don't lean into that so much. Hey, offshore Twitch account.
Did you find the kit? Oh, sweet Jesus. The pain. Morphine.
I'm sorry you're going through that offshore Twitch account. And Valerian, I'm sorry you're going through that too. Here you go.
This should help with the pain. Now tell me what's going on.
Those sons of bitches. I should have seen it coming. I knew from the moment Sarif got spooked that this case would come back and bite me in the ass.
Sarif. So you're the investigator he hired to run a background check on me?
Detective. Or I was, until... Christ, fuck it. It hurts enough just trying to breathe. Point is, the goons that did this to me, professionals, I think your boss pissed off the wrong people, trying to dig up your dirt.
What people? What did you find?
No time to go into details. My storage unit, the sons of bitches, they're headed there now. Sarif had me uncover a ton of shit on you. Stuff even you don't know. Your parents, your real parents. The tests, the fire. What are you, Jensen? Some kind of freak?
Focus, Radford.
I mothballed the case in storage. It's in an alley. Behind the bank. Your files are there. But Michelle knows. Michelle knows more. You need to stop them. Fuck. You robot. This is all your fault. Give me another shot. Morphine. Or go fuck yourself.
Well, okay.
Focus, Radford.
Ah, that hit the spot. I think I could get used to this stuff. Hey, I'm feeling a little more talkative. Already. Robot.
Yeah, please stop calling me that. It's kind of offensive. It's actually extremely offensive. Also, yeah, never get used to morphine. I actually hate the feeling of morphine, both when it's injected and when you're on it. I cannot stand that sensation, which is probably a good thing, because I live with a lot of pain in my life, and I don't want to be addicted to painkillers. One moment, Noctis.
You mentioned someone named Michelle. Who's Michelle?
Your guardian angel.
Who is she?
Tell me, do robots even believe in angels? Or did they take that out of you? Did they take that away? You know, your soul, when they built you? Tell me, what was it like when you died, Jensen?
I know you're in a lot of pain, and the morphine is...
Just find her before they do. You owe her that much.
Okay, whatever.
I'm leaving, but I'll call in an ambulance. You'll be okay.
No. Those fucking animals. I can't move anything. I was turning around, pulling my gun when the first bullet hit me. The second one, they fucking paralyzed me.
I'm sure it's not as bad as you think. It might be a reaction to the morphine.
I know what morphine does. I also know what a 9mm round fired at less than 10 meters does to the thoracic vertebrae on impact.
You need a doctor. They can fix that.
I ain't turning into no freak. Even if I could afford the surgery, the augments, I'd rather die than be half a machine. And I sure as hell ain't gonna live the rest of my life in a wheelchair, shitting in a goddamn diaper.
Radford.
Listen, I know there's still a few more morphine shots. Another 2 should do the trick. Please, this is as close as I'm gonna get to begging you. Don't leave me like this. You owe me that much.
So, we can euthanize him. We cannot euthanize him. Or we can inquire.
Why do you hate augmentation so much?
Because it ain't right. You can't go changing the way things are. You can't replace the real thing with an imitation. It ain't right. It ain't natural.
It can save your life.
No, you lose more than what gets left behind on the chopping block. You should know this by now.
Yeah, you could tell. I want to talk about this, but I also can't pause the game right now.
I understand. But technology, it's different now. It can help you. You could still live a normal life.
A normal life? What would you know about a normal life? Did technology really help you, Jensen? I think it made you a monster. Sarif didn't give you your life back. He just made you better at taking it away from others.
Did you not see me not kill that guy 5 seconds ago? You know, hang on. Let's activate the pheromones here.
I don't think you really want to die, Radford. I think you're just scared. I was scared too. I didn't ask for any of this, just like you didn't ask for a bullet in the gut. But you can't blame me, or Sarif, or technology for what's happening here.
I wouldn't be in this mess if it wasn't for you and your damn past. I never should have taken the job, but I needed the work, the money. Even if I wanted to, I can't afford the fucking augmentation surgery. And I can't live like a cripple for the rest of my life.
Living through adversity is what makes us human. It's not flesh and blood or even bone that defines us. I might be more machine than flesh, but I'm still alive. I'm still human.
You got heart for a robot, I'll give you that. Tell you what, I'll play along with this little after-school special you got going on here. I'll get through this, but not because of this lovey-dovey bullshit charade. I'll live for the truth, for revenge. Whoever hired those suits, I'm going after those sons of bitches. I don't care how deep this rabbit hole goes.
Glad to hear it.
Yeah. And Jensen, I don't know how bad you think your wounds were, but your boss, your friend Sarif, they butchered you. Went too far with the operation. You were an experiment, a test. But he's the one that made you a weapon. Almost makes me feel bad for you. Almost.
So, first of all, thank you, Noctis X Soul, for the sub in the middle of all that. I can actually alt-tab and jot that down. I cannot put that towards Zelda Echoes, though, because Zelda Echoes is funded. But I'll put it towards Epic, Battle, Fantasy 5, maybe Time Splitters. I'll put you in the maybe Time Splitters territory. And Henry Stickmin. Yeah, no, it was pretty fast. I might hurt a little bit more, Braven. Hang on. I think yours was one of the ones that tipped it over, Darkrai, but I could be wrong. I'm almost positive it is. Because I'm almost positive that, like, we're over the line now. So the last one was Total War Rome, which is right here. So, yeah, no, you're good. You're good, Darkrai. Yeah, I'm not super surprised it was funded that fast. I was plugging it pretty hard. And I've noticed that if I make people aware of a particular run while I'm playing another genre of that run, so in other words, the people watching or people who would be interested in the new run, then yeah, it's probably going to happen. Anyway, so first and foremost, while I absolutely love suicide, of course. The truth of the matter is that someone who is in a horrific amount of pain and currently on morphine with adrenaline pumping through their body is not the kind of person who is in the state of mind to make a reasonable and sane judgment on whether or not they should commit suicide or not. I know what you're thinking. Of course, they're no, no. That's someone who is more or less literally out of their mind, in a medical sense of the word. So, first point, we're obviously not going to help this guy kill himself. Literally just based on that. We actually don't need further justification. But on top of that, we need to talk about a potential negative to story. Yeah, no kidding, Dakota. We need to talk about a potential negative to story that's been discussed a few times, and a friend of mine brought it up last night because I was talking to her about this game. And it's a negative for theme. Because here's the deal. The theme of the game is very, very obvious. You know, what transhumanism, to put it into one word, right? What makes us human? Are we really human? Should augments exist? Blah, 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 blah. And the real problem here, and we already talked about this, is they don't do anything with the theme at all. It's actually an interesting theme, and quite a few sci-fi works over the years have played around with it. But all this game really does is just say, hey, here's this theme, and then it beats it over the head with it as hard as it possibly can throughout the course of the entire game. To the point where in many cases, it feels more like straw man arguments. For those of you not familiar with what that actually means, you hold up a straw man argument is when you argue for a specific side so badly because you're actually arguing against the side that you are stating you're arguing for, right? In other words, let me use a specific example. This guy doesn't like augmentation. Why? Because it isn't natural. That's not an argument. There's no actual talking points there. The argument of it's not natural has nothing to do with anything. And you can, yeah, I was going to say glasses are not natural. Medicine is not natural. Electricity is not natural. Air conditioning is not natural. Brushing your teeth is not natural, right? You can go down a huge spiral of how many banal everyday things are not natural. It's not an argument. Yeah, Taco Bell just grows on trees. It's just, well, it's great. You just pull it down. That would be weird. But you get the point. That's a straw man argument because there is no argument there. They're making a deliberately bad argument, right? Remind me who Jaya was, Black Malkin. Now, there is an actual argument that can be made here. In fact, there are quite a few actual arguments that can be made here. And, okay, yes, that's funny, because I was actually going in this exact direction. I just forgot her name. What they were doing with the prostitutes, with forcing them to be augmented, and then actually then making them dependent on neuropozyne. Now, that's a really horrific version of it, but if you're paying attention, that was already mentioned before that. Do you remember the little side quest we did way back at the beginning of Detroit 1, where we found out that certain people were being augmented as part of medical surgery, which then meant they were dependent on neuropozyne, which meant that was pretty much the end of their life because they can't always afford neuropozyne. Remember the guy who was stealing neuropozyne from the office building, and we went and dealt with that? So we know that there is like an actual debate that can be had here, but the game almost never makes it. And that's my point. There's oh, that's not her name. I don't know. Who was Jaya then? Which one? Oh, she was the information broker. Right. That's the other argument. Now, the game almost never makes this unless you're paying attention to the background lore, like the news broadcasts or the newspapers. But one of the other things is having to augment in order to keep up, to stay competitive, right? This is a very valid debate because this exact same concept has happened in real life many times. You know, you have to do X because other people are doing X, and the only way you can stay competitive, either personally or as an entire company, is to do X as well, or to do X plus 1 or X plus 2 or whatever. You get the idea. So augments are optional. But in the sports element, for example, a lot of people are just getting augmented in sports, and thus they can just compete at a different level. And so they do. Now they actually mentioned earlier that there's an AUG sports category and then a non-AUG sports category. But even the fact that they're dividing it like that is already creating a dividing line of tension in between the two, and so forth and so on. You get the idea. Yeah, there's also a thing that, well, I don't want to spoil too much, but we know that Bob Page's company is the one producing neuropozyne. So that says all it needs to about that, really. Yeah, exactly, Darkrai. Thank God the live service bubble functionally has already popped. But I'm getting off topic. The reason I bring all this up is that there are debates that could be had about this game that, in my opinion, mostly aren't. That's really all I'm trying to actually say here, is that it was our opinion that the game does not handle its theme well at all. It doesn't really make it a talking point. It's just kind of, hey, there's this idea, and then end statement. 18. Now, what's that, 6? Yeah, no kidding. Well, it's okay. The next one will definitely be the one that finally succeeds. That's how that works, right? Anyways, but yeah, the question here really for me is whether or not this is a negative, because it's definitely not a positive. I cannot imagine that the theme of this game qualifies for positive range. Unlike, and I'll use a direct comparison, Mankind Divided, which does a lot better job of actually examining the AUG, non-AUG issue, and actually makes it a talking point multiple times for multiple people. Here it's more like, is it a bad thing or is it a wash? Now, I'm not going to make my decision now regardless, because we're not done with the game yet. But I am curious of people's thoughts, and that's why I wanted to bring it up, for something to chew on. Sorry, I was also jotting down some notes in the background while I was doing that. Okay. Where the hell am I? Ah, here we go. Yeah, see, admittedly, part of my potential negative is coming from experience of having played this game before, which, as we've discussed several times, is vague rather than concrete. So I cannot, in good conscience, actually say whether I think it's negative territory or not. Like, if you asked me vaguely right off the top of my head, I'd be like, oh yeah, totally negative, because I remember it being aggravating as I was playing through it last time. But whether it actually is or not, we'll see. Yeah, let's just hop out here.
You can no longer tell the difference.
Pritchard,
between the truth
I located Radford. He was attacked by men in suits. Private security, Secret Service types. I'm going after them.
What about Radford? Did you get anything out of him?
He's in pretty bad shape. You need to call it in, get an ambulance to his apartment stat.
Got it. And Jensen, don't get yourself killed, okay?
Oh, Francis. I didn't know you cared.
Don't flatter yourself. I care about the security of this company. You getting yourself killed compromises that. So don't be stupid.
Richard's one of those interesting characters that I'm probably going to end up giving a positive to. God damn it, really. Because there's even a term for it. It's called the jerk with a heart of gold. It boils down to someone, because I've met this kind of people in real life. They essentially don't have any real people skills. And they have an abrasive personality. But that doesn't magically mean that they're actually a dick or that they don't care. It's just they're an asshole. It's hard to explain with basic terminology, but I think you get the idea. And like I said, I've met people like this. Combative, that's actually a good word. Or argumentative might be another one. Another way in here? There is. Yeah, people skills at 0. Well, where are we at on Praxis right now? Oh, we have a couple. Well, I've been sitting on this for a while, so let's finally be able to move heavy stuff. Yeah, what's your dump stat? Charisma. Got it. Agreed. Disposable puppets. The English guy from Assassin's Creed 2. Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. finally have some points to play with, and I'm debating what I actually want to go for. That's him, Sean Hastings. Apparently, this is in a timeline where I didn't buy the blast through walls thing. I feel like I'm going to want that eventually. I also want everything else. Let's get the battery. I've been sitting on the battery for quite a while. I'm going to get one more charge and faster charging. I'm going to sit on that last point in case I want to be able to bust through walls. We can finally move heavy stuff. Whoop, whoop, whoop. A little late, but here we are. Alright, what do we got going on?
Of course he is. I know Mr. Gray is landing tonight. We're working on it, yeah. Listen, believe me, we tried. The old man proved resilient. We left someone behind to watch him. If we need, we can go back, but I'm not sure how much more he can take. That's why we need Smith. We tried that already. Look, he can't get the safe open. That's why if you could, send Smith down. Right. Thank you, sir. Now we'll contact you as soon as we have the information.
Let's check it out.
Damn it.
Technology.
Yeah, I knew that wasn't going to last. That is a good question after a Twitch account. Let me ask you this. Are you one of those people who feels better when you eat junk food when you're sick, or worse? Because I'm one of the worst people. But my sister's one of the better people. That's true in general, too.
Of course he is. I know Mr.
Got your back.
How did that miss? If it's going to make you feel better, get pizza today, then. But you have to tell me the type of pizza so I can live vicariously, because I barely had breakfast today. It is. No, I've had that issue several times, Dakota. Every other gun I just stop using aiming down the sights, and it seems to be helping.
I got a man down here. I've got him. Got him. Gotta get closer. Holy shit! What's that?
I was trying not to involve the cops. Pepperoni, smoked turkey sausage, meatballs, turkey ham, and spicy meat. Yep. That is awesome. You should go for it. Oh, whatever. I was sloppy, but it worked. According to a copy of Mr. Gray's travel itinerary, it's imperative you extract information concerning his interests with the utmost discretion. We can't afford to tip off the target or Seraph. I trust you'll exercise due diligence on this matter and be done before Gray reaches Detroit. Singapore, Prague, London, Detroit. Take the ammo. Well, shoot. I guess it's time to finally get that Tier 3 hack. I was really hoping to get an actual upgrade first. No, I wanted battery. Oh, whatever. Let's reload that. Hang on, I can do that more efficiently. Let's use our newfound battery powers.
Of course he is. I know Mr. Gray is landing tonight. We're working on it, yeah. Listen, believe me, we tried. The old man proved resilient. We left someone behind to watch him. If we need...
I've got you covered! What are you doing? Come out!
There we go. A little more efficient. Nothing to see here, officer. Just a friendly dispute. There's that. Ammo. Ammo. Vendor food, really good. They're all alive. I didn't kill them, officer. Alright. Well, shoot. Time to finally get level 3 hack. This is gonna suck. Okay.
Access granted.
Okay, that was a little close, but we managed it. Yeah, red was actually accessible for once. So, I found... It's good work, Brent. I found Adam Jensen's psych evaluation following the SWAT incident. Oh, hang on, I've already seen that. Here's a little nugget I gleaned off the PC of your man's bow, or expo. So I'm going to get more, but Nuclear Snake, that's Pritchford, was hounding my trace and I had to jump networks. When I tried to reconnect, my tunnel was caved. Whoever that was, they're good. I'm not going to risk going and get back anytime soon. P.S. Consider my debt paid. This is the last time we do a job without money up front. Megan, I know you had some questions about the files I sent. Sorry about all the graphs earlier, but that sample was nothing short of groundbreaking. I got excited. I don't suppose you can tell me where you got it. The short answer to the original breakdown I sent is yes. The DNA samples are remarkable, and we were unbelievably lucky to catch the reason why. We've been working with VersaLife's new Chaos Model Genomatrix, which is trying to apply fractal mathematics to the study of genetic mutation. In essence, we've been trying to predict the future of human evolution using past mutations stored in the database of our mitochondria, which is passed uninterrupted from ancestral Eve through our mothers, gives us an accurate and universal roadmap for our common past. Thing is, the sample you set fits one of the evolutionary models of the future. We're talking about someone who is ahead of the genetic curve by 1 step, maybe 2. Do you know what this could mean for medicine alone? You have a living, breathing Nobel Prize on your hands. Thing is, I can't tell you if this is a natural leap or something done to the mother while the baby is in vitro, but I do know that this person's mother had no such mutations. The mitochondria don't lie. The powerhouse of... sorry. Yep, so that's the sterile thing. And here's... We've actually read this one already, too. Radford, I strongly advise you not to look more into digging into this guy. I've heard enough and I'll have nothing to do with White Helix. The less I know, the better. And I would advise you to follow suit. In fact, consider your contractual obligations fulfilled, the investigation's over. I'll get in touch to organize and rendering and the payment of bills for your service. Got a tip for you on that case you're working on. There's a woman named Michelle Walters. She works at the lab you mentioned, White Helix. She was a nurse and good friends with the Jensens, particularly Arthur. She's living in Detroit in Brooklyn Court. There's one problem. According to my probe, she's senile. But you can always have a way with the ladies. Maybe you can coax some information from her. Now, this is a security rating 5, so let's see if this is worth it. Photographs. Biolab destroys White Helix. 50 credits. And some revolver ammo. We probably need those photographs. The rest of that, not so much, but whatever. I mean, don't mistake me, more revolver ammo is always nice. Okay. Let's go here. See, how hard or soft science is, that's a whole debate we could have. Because almost all science in science fiction is soft science. Like, the ridiculous majority of it is soft science. For me, it's mostly about how they use it and what they do with it. Sure, link it to me on Discord after Twitch account. Yeah, that's why it's called science fiction. Like, writers tend to have consultants, not always, when it comes to science fiction, and they sometimes listen to those consultants, but then you have to have, you know... Okay. Well, go ahead and link me it, but I'm not going to promise to watch it, and that's just that. I have many other things on my mind as of this moment. Don't autoplay, don't autoplay, don't autoplay. Okay, thank you. No, I could tell you exactly how this game would go without quest markers. It would be me being very lost on every side quest ever. Inspecting your apartment, ma'am. Don't mind me. Like, for example, this very quest I'm on right now. So, let's say that I forgot to read the exact instructions on the things. I'm like, I checked my log. Where is she? Well, the answer is... hang on. Does it actually say where she is at all? Nope. Okay, so there's nothing in the log. This is actually a valid point to bring up, Black Malkin. I've been meaning to do this for a while, so thank you for reminding me. So let's check this. She's living in Brooklyn Court. Okay. So sure, we'll just figure out where Brooklyn Court is. Okay, it's not going to let me show the overworld thing. I mean, the difference between the two would be rather minor, Black Malkin, because it would just involve doing this and being like, here, checking the thing, and being like, nope, I'm on the wrong level. Then I'd go to a different level. Okay, go up another level, go to where the spot is, check the thing, there it is, etc., etc. So, bottom line, I think you're bringing up a valid point here. I think this game deserves what I'm going to call the Skyrim negative, because I think the quest design leans too much on telling you where to go via the markers, whether on the map or on the HUD, versus any other method of getting to you to where you're supposed to go. Now, that's not really an issue in the missions, but it's definitely an issue when you're just roaming around the hub. I've actually been thinking about that this whole time. That's ignoring the fact that, as you've already seen, it can incline the player to going in a specific direction when they actually have multiple other vectors or avenues in order to pursue. I call that the Skyrim thing because Skyrim probably has the actual worst example of this I've ever seen, where there is no direction, natural or diegetic, that actually tells you, hey, go here. All they give you is a marker that points to some random spot in the world. You know, go into a cave and find this. And how do you find the cave? Well, it's a cave. Now, quest markers or icons in the UI are a bad thing? Well, no, not necessarily. Here's the bad thing. The bad thing is when you lean on quest markers as your only real method of getting the player from point A to point B. Now, again, this is a gradient. And I think Skyrim is the worst about this particular concept. But there are plenty of ways to be able to navigate in games that do not involve literally putting a marker that is visible either on the HUD or on the map and saying, go here. We've actually seen quite a few games that do a much better and more smooth job of this. In fact, we just played one. While I got lost a couple of times in Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, for the most part, I was able to navigate literally just by looking around. Granted, those levels are fairly linear, but that is a method you can utilize in order to make sure that the player is going where they need to go. And yeah, sometimes overworld design can lead to this. There's several points in several Final Fantasy games. Even the first Final Fantasy game on the NES has a thing where they give you a ship. They don't tell you where you can go or what you can do with it, but you now have a ship. However, if you actually roam around and explore, you can actually only go one place. And that one place happens to be within visual range of a town. Going into that town naturally has several people talk about the Crown and the nearby cave, which is northwest of here. Stuff like that, right? There's ways to do guidance and direction without doing the HUD thing. So the general argument, and I wish Plutoni was here because I'm sure he'd have thoughts about this. The general argument boils down to the fact that if the game's only method of getting you to point A or point B is the quest markers, then we have a problem. If it's optional, in other words, if you could turn those off and not have any issues, we're good. Because at that point, that's just a bonus option. But if the game doesn't do anything else to help you other than some kind of marker, then yeah, we have a problem, right? Again, Skyrim, because Skyrim really is probably the worst game I've encountered with this. I wasn't joking when I gave my other example. There are quests in Skyrim where they will literally say, I need you to go and get this item, or from a cave, or from a ruin. They won't name the cave, or sometimes they'll name the cave, but there will be no guidance whatsoever on where it is in the world, or how to find it, or anything. And if you know Skyrim's overworld map, you know that those caves and ruins are just scattered all over the place in order to fill out the map. Now, is that true in Oblivion? No, believe it or not, Oblivion is actually several steps better than Skyrim, because Oblivion, several of the times, Oblivion's more like this game. It actually has legitimate guidance and direction and navigation. It has roads, it has side paths, it has natural usage of terrain to incline you to explore certain areas. It has actual directions, in addition to the signposts, just like this game has. A person will say, hey, I need you to go to this spot. It's at this cave, and if you go to the base of the cave and you go walking down towards the pond, you'll find a cave at the edge of the pond. That's a real direction. It's the Wisp Cave, if you remember that one, southeast of Chadnall. So Oblivion actually had design other than go find a cave marker. Now, there were a few individual quests where Oblivion fell into this problem. And I'm not saying it doesn't, but you can see how Oblivion did a lot better of a job than Skyrim does. And yeah, Morrowind has pretty much the exact opposite problem with this, as Blade Travel says. There's no quest markers at all. There's just descriptions and directions, which usually work and sometimes very much don't. We'll talk about that when we get to the BRPG block in more depth, but I know one specific spot in Morrowind where I personally get extremely lost, even knowing where I'm going on replays, it's when you're doing one of the Ashlander quests up here at the northern end of the island. And you have to go down and go to this over thing here. And the directions they give you are, I don't want to say wrong, but they're wrong. The directions they give you were not well written. And so it's very, very easy to go down the wrong path. And once you do, you end up going towards the completely wrong thing. And half the time I'll pull up a map and be like, where the hell am I? Oh, I'm like way over here when I'm supposed to be over here because I missed the turnoff. Stuff like that. Anyways. This also doesn't apply to most games. You know, this doesn't apply to Mario Brothers 3, for example. But it does apply to something like Final Fantasy, and usually Final Fantasy does a good job with this kind of thing. FF2 is one of the only FFs I can think of off the top of my head which has legitimately bad guidance and flow in terms of its overall design. Anyways, I'm getting way off topic. Point being, we'll jot this down as a potential here. Oh yeah, and sorry, you brought up Starfield, which is worse than Skyrim. So yes, Starfield is... so the problem here is Starfield is simultaneously exactly the same as Skyrim, but then also kind of bypasses part of the problem by sheer virtue of the planet mechanic. What I mean by that is if you have a quest to go to Timbuktu over here, then you just... the marker is obviously on the galactic map isn't a point to Timbuktu, and that's actually arguably a good thing. But what it's ultimately pointing to is just another zone line, right? Another loading screen through the fast travel. So you warp over to Timbuktu, you go on down to the planet, and then it's Skyrim. More or less exactly Skyrim, because they don't tell you anything in Starfield about where you're going. Just, hey, go to this planet and investigate this. But it's okay, because in Starfield, there's usually only one installation or one, like, building on any given planet in general. I think there's like 3 exceptions to that in the whole game. Hi, Rama. I gotta do all the loading screens before we get there. Hello, Zara. Hope your weekend is going well. Having said this, you did remind me of another thing, Black Malkin. I should absolutely give a gameplay positive, because one of the things I was able to do, and I've done this several times, especially in Hingshaw and Detroit, is you can navigate just based on like literal sign markers, actual street markers and signpost kind of stuff. Okay. Apologies for the derailment, but it was something I've been meaning to talk about. Let's talk to a very senile person.
Did I leave my door open? Wait, you're not from Rolling Mills. You're too handsome to be from Rolling Mills.
No, I'm not. Mrs. Michelle Walters, is it? My name's Adam Jensen.
No, you much too old to be him. You must be from Rolling Mills. And please, it's Miss Walters.
Brent Radford sent me. Do you remember him? He's a detective.
Yes, lovely gentleman. He still has my photos of Adam when he was a baby. Oh, could you be a dear and fetch them for me? I forgot who has them, though.
Sure.
Are these the photographs?
Oh, yes. Thank you. I haven't seen Adam Jensen in such a long time. Forever, it seems. Such a happy baby.
Well, let's activate the pheromones.
I would love to hear more about the boy in those photographs.
Such a polite and handsome young man. It'll be my pleasure. The boy in the photo, Adam. Jensen was never really his last name, you know. We only gave that to him after the fire.
Fire?
At White Helix Lab. That's where Adam's real parents worked. At least I think they were his parents. All those babies, the gene therapy they went through, but Adam was special.
Special? How?
He survived what they did to those babies. He was one of a kind. Then, when we heard they were going to use him to inoculate the next batch of infants.
Wait, what were they doing to the babies?
Wish I could remember. I was just part of a nursing staff, but Adam's parents, they started the fire. Yes, I remember that. They asked me to hide Adam. Then they started the fire. Poor things. They never got out in time.
So they started a fire at White Helix Labs. And you hid me.
No, not you, dear. Adam Jensen. Or at least I think that was his name. Well, I gave him to the Jensens to raise. They were a lovely couple.
Miss Walters, my Adam's real parents, who were they?
I'm sorry. What were we talking about? Oh, when are them Rolling Mills people gonna get here with my dinner?
Miss Walters, please. I know it was a while ago, and remembering all the details might be hard, but do you think you can try and focus for a minute? What did you tell the detective?
Well, Mr. Radford and I spoke about many, many things. But don't you have meals to deliver? And where is my dinner?
Thank you for your time, Miss Walters.
Oh, before I forget, if you see Adam, could you please give him this? It's for all the birthdays and Christmases I've missed. I've been saving them.
I'll make sure he gets it.
Thank you, dear. Why, he must be 12 or 13 by now. Make sure he gets something nice.
Dementia continues to suck. Pick up the fridge and throw it at her. There we go.
Pritchard, I need you to assign a temporary security detail to an apartment on Brooklyn Court until I can figure out a more permanent solution. The woman's name is Walters, Michelle Walters.
Security detail? What the hell, Jensen? Who is this woman?
She's family, but she's vulnerable. I'll explain later. Just do this for me, please. And not a word to Sarif. Can I trust you on this, Pritchard?
Christ, Jensen. All right. I'll do it. But there better be a damn good reason for this.
There is. I'll fill you in next time I see you. But right now I need to get back to work. And Pritchard, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I was talking about earlier with regards to Pritchard. Like, really think about the substantial thing that he just did. Head of digital security for a major mega corporation just agreed to arrange for a very off-the-books and illegal private security detail for a woman on someone's say-so, and not inform his boss about it. He does it, though. Yeah, I failed, though, Black Vulcan. That's fine. It's fine. I'm pretty sure you can. I just didn't. Let's make some additional money really quick here.
How may I be of service?
Give me your money. With pleasure. Exactly, Darkrai. There's a pretty good chance we aren't asking for this as a whim. This is for shotguns, right? Yeah, okay. Already got that. And that's for the crossbow. Okay, so we're good on that. I think we will buy all of those. Those have been universally useful.
Always a pleasure.
I think you're right, Black Malcolm. Because, yeah, there's no manual triggering of the Icarus. It's just, oh, you're going down. You hit jump.
Welcome to Lim International.
No, it's fine, Traxie, it's fine. See, then I just kill the criminals, and then sell the stuff back to the vendors, and then kill the criminals and sell the stuff back to the vendors. I just keep making money from nothing. Isn't that the goal?
Dr. Chechery, call 217. Dr. Chechery.
Will you be purchasing anything today?
Yeah, he reminds me of Dandelion von Falkenstein, who I can't stand, personally. But he does have Geralt's back, and he is extraordinarily loyal. As much as I would love to just kill Dandelion. Just wring his little neck. I can't do it. He's too loyal. He's too helpful. He's too earnest. Let's see. So that's the analyzer. I don't really need analyzer. Fortify would be nice, but stealth would be even better. I could also still grab blast through walls. Was there a 2 I was waiting on? Unless I actually buy the cloak, which I haven't yet. I mean, probably Czar. Yeah, we'll hold on to him for right now. We only got like 5 people in that one vent, Giga Pudding. As a bit of world building, that is a form of set dressing, so I could see that, Czar. I'm not sure if that's an individual positive or that's more like a wash, but... I know, there were only 5 people there, though, Giga, so I can only stuff all 5 of them into the one vent. Look, I can't make people, Giga, that's your job. See, I can do that thing where you go blorp, and now there's 2 slimes, and then like blorp, and then there's 3 slimes. This is actually our 3rd hub, technically, because this is Detroit too. The next steps in human evolution coming soon.
I know you probably don't agree with what Mr. Taggart has to say, but you can't deny that he's a powerful speaker.
Don't know how welcome someone like you will be in here. Watch your step.
Yeah.
Don't come down here.
Hey, are you able to get in to hear Taggart's speech?
Bill is really changing the world for the better.
Or changing it back to what it used to be? to before these people started poisoning their bodies. Or to use his words, their divine engines.
See, I have no problem with amputees wanting to get augmentations.
Especially our soldiers. That's the least they deserve after defending our country. Like Taggart's patient, Ezekiel.
Right. And what happened to Ezekiel? He got himself a new limb that sent him into a spiral of despair because of the drugs. Essentially, what Bill Taggart is asking is, do we really want to have a world filled with addicts being forced to pay exorbitant amounts of money to a bunch of corporate neuropozyne pushers?
I just don't get why certain people have this loony idea that augmentations will make the world better.
Well, as you can see by what's going on out there, they have a lot of work to do to convince the world.
Yeah, so, like, this is why voice acting is both a positive and a negative. Because sometimes it's pretty good and pretty solid, especially on several of the main cast.
And isn't he a smooth talker? He doesn't want you to better yourselves. He wants to limit you. He wants the government to have jurisdiction over your body. You want to get augmented? Oh no, I'm sorry, but we're not gonna let you. You're not gonna let me? Ha! And do you know how he's gonna influence legislation? How he's going to convince you this is really what you want? With fear! He's already started! Look outside, in our streets. Who do you think whipped up that frenzy? And I don't blame them, I blame people like Taggart, people who are constantly trying to divide us by our differences, instead of uniting us by our similarities. Listen, I've been a victim of this anti-aug backlash. I was attacked simply for having been to a limb clinic. By people who were not augmented, people with an axe to grind. And do you know who saved me? An augmented man, a stranger. So you tell me where the real danger comes from. The Humanity Front is just that, a front. A front for hate-mongering and William Taggart's irrational need to keep us in the Dark Ages. I'm not here to tell you that augmentations will make the world a better place. I'm here to stand up for my right to choose. When Hugh Darrow discovered the secret of augmentation, he gave us the chance to better ourselves, to reach for limits that we couldn't even imagine before. Well, you've just heard William Taggart speak, and isn't he a smooth talker? He doesn't want you to better
there's our loop.
I just can't subscribe to Taggart's Neanderthal opinions. It's like he thinks human development is a sin.
I can't believe there are still people out there with such backward mentalities.
This UN resolution he wants passed is persecution, plain and simple.
Agreed. He loves to claim over and over again what a peaceful organization Humanity Front is. But just look outside. In a non-direct way, he's promoting this kind of reaction.
Well, there have always been nuts like Taggart trying to stop human progress. By the end of the day, the human need to explore always wins out. He'll be a relic in no time.
I hope you're right. I'm just wondering when Hugh Darrow is going to come out of his shell and take a position. It seems like this whole resolution is on hold until he speaks up.
Instead of uniting us by our similarities.
I wish I could. He's my idol.
Thanks for the dialogue, buddy.
I don't know how it happened. One second it was a peaceful demonstration near the limb clinic. The next, people are running towards Sarif Plaza grabbing anything they could.
You don't have to get uppity just because I don't agree with you, miss.
I'm not getting hot. It just frustrates me how some of you pro-humanists act so superior. Like you have all the answers to every ethical question ever posed.
Well, who are you to think you can just turn yourself into robots, abuse drugs, and then think you can function freely in our society?
You and that asshole Taggart? Just try to take away my freedom and see what happens.
When Hugh Darrow discovered the
still at disposal?
Yeah. Backstage area is completely blocked off. Even the janitor can't get back there now.
What about the air vents?
You're kidding, right? Have you seen the size of those vents? You expect a contortionist or midget is going to try to assassinate Taggart?
Don't get smart.
This. Yeah, you see what I mean by straw manning. The best part is they're straw manning in both directions, which just kind of makes the whole thing even worse. Hey, Ross. Ross, we're here to find out. Are you pro-augment, or are you a filthy communist hippie?
Human evolution is a fantasy, but that is exactly what I am telling you. As a world...
Where's your sidekick, Taggart? 6 months ago, Sarif Industries was attacked by mercenaries whose objective was to cripple our research. But I've learned the attack was just a smokescreen. Megan Reed's team was kidnapped, and Isaiah Sandoval, your personal aide, was involved.
That is ridiculous. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for Mr. Jensen's intrusion, and I assure you that these accusations are without basis.
Are they?
This is Sandoval. Why are you calling me here?
There's been a change of plans. Serif's team must not make it to the hearing.
But that's too soon. If you want me to remove the GPLs, I'll need a full operating suite. Does the facility have one?
That's your man, Taggart. Talking about removing implanted GPL devices so that the people who took Sarif scientists could cover it up.
I see what's going on here. Sarif Industries has received 2 black eyes in the last few days. The first, due to the shocking news coming out of Montreal that biotech companies are secretly participating in unethical super soldier experiments. And the second, as a result of their violent escalation of today's peaceful protest. David Sarif and his corporate bedfellows are desperate and in imminent danger of losing the regulation vote, so this man has been sent here to attack my reputation.
I'm right here, Taggart. Look at me. I admit, I wouldn't feel bad if your reputation was damaged in front of the press, since you've been doing the same to my colleagues for years, but that's not why I'm here. Sarif scientists are alive, and it's time for the truth to come out.
The truth, Mr. Jensen, is that this recording of yours proves nothing. It could have been made by anyone in the world with a grudge against Humanity Front, and you are our prime suspect.
Gosh, I'm not sure. I almost want to walk through this one.
You're right, it's not enough to get a conviction. But it's enough for a search warrant. That's all I want, Taggart. Why are you standing in the way?
I'm not. I'm trying to protect... Look, Mr. Jensen. I know why you came here instead of taking your recording to the police. I know the real reason for your accusations, and you're not entirely to blame for what you're doing. It is common, after trauma such as the one you suffered, to fixate on the event, to stay blocked in the past. In a word, you're obsessed.
I can worry about myself later. What's really important now is the 5 innocent people whose lives were stolen from them during that attack. Sandoval knows where they are. Now, where is he?
I don't want to see anyone's lives stolen from them. If you could see your situation clearly, you would realize you're being driven by your losses. Your actions are motivated by an attempt to regain a sense of control at my expense. You're turning me into your enemy when I'm not.
I'm torn between discredit and confront here. And yes, I know I haven't activated the pheromones yet. I don't want to. If I wanted to win, I'd use a walkthrough. I noticed that too, Bregman. This is a good one. This is probably an individual positive boss fight.
Mr. Jensen?
Sorry. That's discredit.
I don't have to make you my enemy, Taggart. Your actions speak for themselves. You started the anti-augmentation movement, and now anti-augmentation terrorist groups are making headlines every day. You always say Humanity Front isn't violent. But look outside. We're seeing proof that it is.
The violence is a terrible thing. I do not advocate it, but nor can I deny it exists. From the very day I founded Humanity Front, I made it clear that the group would be devoted to non-violent resistance. To deviate from this would mean dishonoring the memory of the very woman whose murder caused me to found the organization. Mr. Jensen, how can you possibly accuse me of doing otherwise?
I love it. I love it! Just appealing to the crowd and to emotion rather than to thought.
I know about your wife's murder, Mr. Taggart, and how it led you to start Humanity Front. I've lost someone close to me too, but I have a chance to get her back. If Sandoval is involved in Megan's abduction in any way, he dishonored your wife's memory.
Oh!
For her sake, and for the sake of my people, I need to know where he is.
All right, Mr. Jensen. You're right. For Marjorie's sake, I can't risk tainting the integrity of what I built in her name. I'll help you find Isaiah, and I pray that you are wrong about him. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize, but I'm going to have to beg your indulgence for a few moments more. If you will all please remain patient, I will return as soon as I can. Thank you. Mr. Jensen, I'll see you backstage.
Yep. Oh, that was brilliant. That was brilliant. I loved that. Yeah, no, I even remember that fight. So we might actually do that a second time just to showcase how differently that can go. Because that is a hell of a boss fight. Very tense too. And done in front of a crowd, while his guards are right there standing behind him. And yeah, Bregman's correct. Well, obviously that was a knife going right for the thing. He opened that door. That's how debate works. If you bring up a point, I then have the right to then debate that point that you brought up, whether I do it in an attack manner or not. So he's like, I did this for my wife, so I then immediately direct my debate, my rhetoric towards his wife. But in so doing, I gave him an out. Well, I gave him Jensen gave him an out. Oh, it's all just it's all about this. I need to make sure that Sandoval isn't doing a disservice to your wife's memory. That was great. I love it. Sorry. Hi, Mr. Red. This reminds me a lot of the first dialogue boss in KOTOR 2. You remember that one? It was with the HK unit. Yeah, what's going to happen, James Carmichael, is this kid's going to show up and be like, hi, I'm the out. And then, like, instead of 19 endings, we have 3. And by 3, I mean 1. Yeah, seeing the biometrics as his heart rate started increasing, as his eyes started dilating, as he started breathing a little bit faster, because we were hitting him. Emperor Valerian. Oh yeah, going for the 4th option is wrong because BioWare said so. That's a good point, Giga. No, that's a good section. I love that section. So hang on. What do we got? Yeah, so at a glance, I know why you came here, and you can redirect him. Or why don't you take your recording to the police? You remember that one? That's when we discredited him. You can also say, my heart goes out to you, Jensen, for all you've been through. That's when you confront him. If you play that recording for the police, that's when you discredit. If you're so certain of your evidence, that's when you confront him. And go play your recording for the police, that's when you redirect. You can then apply the pheromones, which only works if you appease him, which then leads him to say, if you could see your situation more clearly, which forces you to confront him, or he could say you're lashing out, which forces you to confront him, or he could say, as you know, I was a practicing psychologist, in which case you have to redirect. What do you expect to gain here today? That's a discredit. I saw this posture of yours. That's a redirect. What is it you're truly looking for here? That's a discredit. But then he gives his reasoning, right? I founded Humanity's Front to make biotech companies, blah, 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 blah. And then you could say, redirect. When I founded Humanity's Front, that's a redirect. My life has been an open book, confront. Look at every speech I've ever given, discredit. From the very day I founded the Front, discredit. And I founded it to prevent others from suffering, confront. Jesus. That is a lot of dynamic across 4 rounds. And that can go a lot of different ways. Jesus. No, that's good. That's good. So yeah, I don't know how to do an out of 10, James Carmichael. I don't even know how to begin to process the golden numbers into an out of 10 concept. But God of War 5 got a fairly high story score. I believe the highest story score we've ever given, if I'm not mistaken. And a very low gameplay score. Yeah, +3. I'm also assuming I could have just snuck in here. But, you know. Why would I sneak in a stealth game when I could talk to someone on public television in front of a crowd?
Any idea what's going on out there?
Apparently it's settling down a little. Police have cleared the streets.
I heard they were pretty aggressive.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Where the hell am I going? It was this door.
Environment and an ethical approach to research at all times.
Sorry.
We invite critics and members of the UN to tour our facilities firsthand. They will find nothing but order, progress.
Mr. Jensen, I appreciate you allowing me to deal with this in a more discreet manner.
Save it, Taggart. You've wasted enough of my time as it is. Now where's Sandoval?
He has an apartment he uses when in this city, on Grand River Road. He mentioned he was feeling very run down, so I can only assume he went there.
I see.
He's not an evil man, Mr. Jensen. If he's done what you say, it's only because of his brother, Ezekiel. A man you might know better as Zeke Sanders.
Sanders? The man who attacked Sarah's manufacturing plant?
I knew nothing about it until after it was over, and then I tried. I tried to convince Isaiah not to follow in his footsteps.
Good job.
Mr. Jensen, please. Isaiah has done so much for so many needy people, people suffering from implant rejection. Promise me you will deal with him fairly.
That all depends on Isaiah's.
I understand, but please try.
I will. Yeah, I like the Corn Princess better, personally.
And members of the UN to tour our facilities firsthand.
Have I already given that positive? Yes, I have. Excellent.
I sure hope Bill Taggart is able to convince the UN about getting involved.
For or against getting involved? God, this carpet pattern.
I'm not here to tell you that augmentations will make the world a better place. I'm here to stand up for my right to choose.
Interesting. Now you've got me thinking about what a princess of corn would look like.
Come on, come on! Jensen? I almost didn't recognize you. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, what are the chances? Do you remember me? I was a rookie when you still rolled in SWAT.
Nikki. Of course I remember you. How you been? The brass got you on ride control too?
Yeah, I am. Or I was until... Damn it. Look, something big is going down, and I'm kind of freaking out here. You remember that MCBer, Jacob White? You busted him a couple of times.
Yeah, I remember him. Assault and possession. He's still running rackets?
No, I mean, yeah, shit, I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter, because he's moved on to bigger things.
Nikki, slow down.
Listen, hear me out. I just got word he has his hands on some real military-grade explosives. The prick's got a fucking bomb, Adam. And you know how much he hates the PD. He's going to hit us while we have our pants down with the riots. You gotta help us out here.
Nikki, I'm kinda busy. If he's got a bomb, just call it in and follow procedure.
What do you think I've been doing? I've been on the horn all night, and my CO already sent a patrol over to Jacob's house. We've got a warrant, so they searched the place, but nothing came up, not even Jacob. Now they're saying my CI is probably full of shit and just fucking with me. Bullshit! Jacob's using the riots as cover, and he's going to hit us, and hit us hard. Adam, I need you to trust me on this. You gotta help me find Jacob.
Uh-huh.
How did White even manage to get his hands on explosives?
My source says he got the bomb materials from some government stash out in Highland Park. It's all I know so far. But it all fits. He was last seen ranting at a rally about shattering the foundation of the hypocrisy or some bullshit like that. You know, quoting Che Guevara and talking about violent revolution.
Did he have the shirt too?
What? Anyway, he practically named the date and time of this reckoning. And it's tonight. It has to be.
Uh-huh.
I have to admit, Nikki, I'm having a hard time believing White could come up with something like this. He can barely tie his own shoelaces without tripping all over himself.
That was then. This is now. After his last stint in Standish, he got bug-eyed crazy. Started talking about how the gang war and Derelict Row was all part of a government plot, and it's time he did something about it.
I remember him saying that augmented kid we took down last year was a cover-up.
Exactly! And he's been railing against Wayne Haas, the PD, and anyone else involved in that ever since. I'm telling you, Adam, he's been getting more and more violent. Now he's got explosives, and we've got a giant bullseye painted on our ass.
Listen, better dead than red, Spartan. Am I right?
So why is it nobody trusts your source?
He used to run with White's old crew, but he's a 3-strike pert facing a dime on some damn parole violation. He's trying to cop a deal, so nobody trusts him. Thing is, I know he's reliable. He hasn't bullshitted me yet, and I don't think he's doing it now.
Aren't you green, Spartan?
Fine, I'll help. Let's go over what we know. Just the facts.
What we know? Just the facts? What we know is he's certified batshit crazy, hates cops, quotes Che Guevara, and got his hands on military-grade explosives. What more do you need to know? Oh, Christ, man. I've got nobody to help me, and I can't even breathe. How am I supposed to find this guy? The bomb could be right under us, right now!
Nikki, you're a cop. Act like it. How are you gonna earn your stripes if you shit yourself under pressure like some wet behind the ears rookie at the academy?
Fuck. You're right. Damn it. I'm sorry. I lost my head. I'm still in the game, Adam. It won't happen again. You can trust me on this.
Just focus, okay? We know that White hates cops, so his first target is probably gonna be the precinct or somewhere nearby. Make sense?
Yeah, and he wouldn't risk hanging around the bank or transit station. They've got those security cameras with facial recognition software. And the precinct is shut down thanks to the internal affairs investigation. That leaves the precinct alleys and sewers as the most probable places to find White. I'm going to get on the horn and update my CO. Can you check those 2 locations? And Jensen, be careful. White may have left booby traps lying around. He's like that, now that I think about it.
No problem. Anything else you can give me?
I don't know. You remember what White looks like, right? Tall, Caucasian, skinhead? He's not the quietest guy, so you'll probably hear him before you see him.
Yeah, a real philosopher king. I remember.
Yeah, so if you just keep your eyes and ears open, I'm sure you'll find him. Also, I heard he's had some major augmentation work done. I'd be extra careful around him. I think the White we used to know has been replaced with something much worse.
Got it.
I know it's a long shot, but I'm hoping we get backup to expand the search. In the meantime, we can check those areas, and who knows, maybe we'll catch a break. Oh, and Jensen, please don't turn him into a martyr. I'd prefer him breathing.
Nothing else, just breathing. Got it. Yeah, he did actually give us directions, holy crap. We're gonna just use the map, obviously. Okay, so I'm gonna go this way, I think. That's true. Just wheel him out in a wheelchair with the oxygen hookup. Representing himself. Yeah, I'm right. I want to go this way. Not bad. Fine. We'll use the Exxon. Or, I mean, Oron. I wonder how long we can sprint if we spend a point on it. Not that I'm going to. Although, where are we at in Praxis right now? 2. there's the sprint enhancer, which would cost us 3 points to sprint faster. Jesus. The homeless woman. The homeless woman. I don't think so, Black Malcolm. If I did, I don't remember it.
They're rioting because of some news reports about experiments on live soldiers.
Oh, the trash can lady. Yeah, no, I haven't actually talked to her this time around. I don't know, what do we think? Have we seen a good spread of cops in this particular game?
No right.
Nice place. A little less lively than the last time I saw it. That's funny. Whoops, no. Didn't mean to dumpster dive, sorry. I had explained to my niece what dumpster diving was just yesterday, and why you don't do it. Not that I think that's going to be a thing in her life, but you never know. Okay. Officers?
It's just embarrassing, really. Like anyone can walk into the precinct and take whatever they want.
I know. What if this wasn't the first time? Some gang leader out here could have profiles of every cop on the force. They may even know where we live.
As long as the media doesn't get into this. If they do, we're gonna get reamed in public by the mayor. You know how much the commission loves that.
We already got the feds in there, looking at us and shaking their heads like we're a bunch of naughty children.
I mean, you guys are in riot gear with automatic rifles.
In order to bring you this show via satellite. But I'm good with it. I'm good with it because I understand the reality of living in a slave state. You can bet they'll keep trying to shut us down, but I won't stop, followers.
That's down, isn't it? Yep, okay.
Until there is a full-scale revolt in progress. You hear what I'm saying, people? You okay, Steve?
Actually, yeah, Mortal. It's probably helped by the fact that we're literally playing an ex-cop. So, the game tends to slant itself that way. Okay, that's good to know. I did actually hear the beep, but not until it was entirely too late. Yeah, a lot of people say that Melker Blade, including me, actually. I was then informed that Mass Effect music does not fit this game, so I was apparently wrong, but... No, he did say there were traps. If I'm being honest, I didn't think we were there yet. I didn't think we were at the point of reaching his lair yet, but I guess we are. So... I was still in hub travel mode, which is just walk, 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 walk. So, since we're going to treat this like level mode... Yeah, Taggart... I'm almost positive Taggart is not sincere in his beliefs. Agreed, James Carmichael. And we've got the inventory space to actually pick up all this stuff, so that's nice. And I want to give thanks to Dakota here, because I don't think I've ever used mines to such wonderful effect as in this playthrough. So yeah, I'll definitely take more mines. Like, these babies have been useful the entire playthrough so far. Because he's a politician, Trihexia. More to the point, he is a successful politician. Cops are like, well, we're not going down there.
You're hiding.
He's got two of these damn things. Rise up, brothers and sisters. The state's grip can be tightened around people's necks, but it can't choke everyone. The gang war in Derelict Row is being provoked by the government to distract people from the nuclear silos they're building below our feet. FEMA is the new intelligence wing of the Department of Defense, but I'm about to repay them. Oh yes, I've liberated explosives for the cause. Join me and help strike a blow against the government and their neo-fascist foot soldiers. Together we can reshape this once great nation and make America great again. Sorry. I mean, I'm not sorry at all, but... okay. I remembered that one, if you're wondering. In case you missed that, the code for disarming the bomb was 0000. You know, true, smart. Yeah, I'm sure there's some way to find that out. Because I remember it. Like, it's one of the only codes in the entire day. It's like 0451. It's one of the only codes in the whole game I actually remember. Good lasagna. Yes, it's time to make Detroit pizza again. I don't know about Falkenstein. Yep, can't get into the police station. Perfect. Oh, really? I need you to face away from me. There we go. Come with me if you want to live. This stream has been augmented. Can I, like, dump these in the water? Because that would be great. Whoop, whoop, whoop. No. There we go. We're good. Here's the real question. Can I get experience for doing that? Looks like no. Yeah. We control the horizontal. We control the vertical. Yeah, police station was back in Detroit 1. Actually, the second dungeon we did. Right after the factory. Whatever it was. Come with me, Mr. Turret. I've got big things planned for you. Enjoy the big things. No, like this. Okay, hang on. Now, hang on, I'm gonna save, because I'm curious of something. Damn. Okay, I want that ammo back. I mean, that's how you're supposed to play Deus Ex, right? Knock out everyone in an entire city block and shove them all into the same ventilation shaft. Alright, come here. You're rotating awful far this way. Oh god! Oh god! Oh god! Oh god! Oh god! Just... Ham. There's something vaguely funny about that, as it just rotates to slowly shoot me as I'm carrying it. Whoop, 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 whoop. Well, apparently I missed it. Whatever. Go that way. Yeah, I wasn't going to say anything, Ross.
We'll stream you through and answer your questions as best we can.
Gun. Sorry, officers. Didn't mean to have my gun out. God dang it. Really? Really? Oh, shoot. Now I gotta get out of here. Oh, the boxes are back. Boxes are back. There's one thing I know about this game, is that boxes are the solution to everything. So, are you going to continue past episode 3, Ross? Okay. I was just curious.
Did you see the guy who stole my purse?
Yeah, we were on the back side of the station. Yeah, this will work. Look, I don't know if they ruined Arcane or not. I haven't even watched the trailers for Season 2, and I don't want to. I'll get there someday. Maybe. We'll see. Yeah. What... I essentially can't say anything about that, Ross. But, yeah. Everyone disperse peacefully, or augments will come to steal your souls. That's right, everything you were ever afraid of is true. They really do have power over you, and they really are going to invoke it. They're gonna steal your souls, your, I don't know, babies. What are the other common talking points? Your freedom. Gotta get rid of your freedom. And your cereal.
I really appreciate you helping us out, Adam, but we're running out of time. We gotta find White before he blows something up.
You guns. Yeah, we could stand to lose the guns, I think.
We're in the clear. I left White unconscious in the sewers under the precinct.
Thank God. The chief finally took me seriously and is sending some men to help out. We'll take it from here.
Great. Anything else?
Oh, and it isn't much, but take this. The cops have a Deadpool going. I don't like it, but you take down a cop killer and you get a bounty, that sort of thing. I usually reserve this to pay off our CIs, but I think you earned it. I threw in a little something extra for bringing him in alive. It's good to know you're still one of the good guys, Jensen.
By the way, Nikki, White's bomb wasn't even explosive. It was a gas bomb. I managed to disable it, but you might want to get a disposal team down there to do a proper sweep and clean.
Ah, shit! I totally forgot about that. I'll get EOD on it right away. Last thing we need are more casualties. Man, I'm sure glad I bumped into you tonight. You're gonna have to let me buy you a pint down at Maggie's sometime. If I hang around you long enough, maybe some of that famous Jensen swagger will rub off on me.
Yeah, we'll do that sometime. Take care of yourself, Nikki.
Nora 92 to Central. Come in, Central. Over.
Nora 92, this is Central. Over.
That code 10 I called in earlier. It's actually gas ordnance. We need EOD down there for cleanup, stat. Tell first response to keep their hands off, and we should quarantine the block just to be sure. Over.
10-4, Nora 92. Thanks for the heads up. Stand by for updates. Central out.
Okay, now that that particular threat's been dealt with. I've already given this negative, so I'm not going to give it again. But part of why I think there is at least a little bit of a backtracking negative is there's several times when you have to cross the map to do a quest, and then cross the map back in order to turn it in, and then cross the map to do the next step of the quest, and then cross the map back to turn it in. We have comms. You know, like, hey, you know, I found the thing. Also, you're going to want to get EOD in here and tell them that it's a gas dispersal. Like nothing that was just done couldn't have been done remotely, in gameplay terms. Thus preventing us from having, like, I'm literally just going right back across the map again right now. Although I think I'm going the wrong direction. Nope, I'm right. Like, I was just over here. This is why this is a backtracking negative, put very simply. That is true, Black Malkin, but we could also abstract that into video gaming terms and just be like, hey, I'll get you your reward someday, and then it's in your inventory. Boom, done. Like, I'm sorry, I'll say, I've said this before and I'll say this again. Gameplay should always take a front step in front of story when it comes to that kind of thing. If something has to exist for story to make the game a worse game, then maybe just make it the game. Now, I know that's a hard line to take, and we don't want to abstract things too hard. However, it does irritate the crap out of me how many developers insist that video games have to be less video gamey. Their words, not mine. Speaking of which, can I use this on anything? Nope. Okay. Perfect. Then we can backtrack across to... Oh, wait. Actually, you know what? Oblivion had a solution for this. Of all games. I'm dead serious. Fallout 3 used the same mechanic. They'll spawn an NPC who's basically a messenger or a courier, and their job is to then beeline the player character. Now, that can lead to some funny things, but they are very, very good at hunting down the player character down and eventually getting to them and talking to them, usually in an inopportune moment, in order to then give them the quest reward. So, hey, I'll have a courier send your reward. And then, you know, X amount of time later, the NPC catches up to us. And it's like, hi, here's your reward. Boom. Now it makes sense in lore, and it prevents the backtracking in gameplay. Done. Okay, so we have some praxis to play with. I really want this, so I'm going to finally go ahead and commit to that. We still don't have the punchy. I'm going to sit on that for right now. We still don't have the cloak. Damn it, I want to silence my minigun. It just sounds like a fan, you know. You can't even hear me. The mic's not picking me up, but just picture it. Let's see, that's just for the sprint. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I think... Isn't my revolver already? No, I guess it isn't. It would be nice if I could have my silenced explosive rounds. It's just a... No, I don't believe you can, Dragon Player. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, I'll sit on it for now. I'll sit on it.
You sure you closed the door?
Yeah. Of course I did. What do you think I am? An idiot?
You're not gonna make me answer that, are you?
Game. Oh, whatever. That is such an obvious thing. I cannot believe that even worked. Get paid, I suppose. Like, is that it? Is he just...
I see you, bro. So long.
Well, I guess that's the end of his story. Did that even give me the praxis? No, it did. It was just, like, stunned or something? I don't know. It's almost a clever trap. Like, it wasn't even completely obvious. It was just a corpse. And it's like, oh, I should go loot the corpse. Well, it's time to finally get that thing. There it is. With the AUG we just got.
Pritchard, looks like Sandoval's got a secret bunker. I'm gonna flush him out.
Let's hope he's still there.
You hear someone jumping around over there?
No. I do not. You're hearing things, buddy.
Must have imagined it. Hey, anyone there?
He didn't need that jaw anyways. I'm not even sure he was using it.
I knew someone was here.
I cannot believe he didn't see me there, but I'm not going to argue it. Oh, there it is. Blind. Don't mind me. Legally blind. I've actually debated getting surgery a few times on my eyes. Problem is, to my knowledge, most of the surgeries require you to just sit there with your eyes open while they operate on your eyes. I've been told it's not as bad as it sounds. My own grandmother took that surgery. I don't think I can deal with that.
If Sandoval doesn't come out of there in a few minutes, I'm going in.
No, you're not. He's on the...
Who the hell are you?
Did I say needles? I don't think I said needles. I just said they operate. But yeah, I know they use lasers. That's what they did to my grandmother. The septum surgery was 10 out of 10, yes. I have not regretted this. Not once. I was hoping to ghost through this just for once, but apparently we're not going to be able to do that. So, we'll do this instead.
He's on the edge. There's no telling what he'll do.
More of a reason to go in there and talk.
Perfect dragon player.
Need some backup. What happened to you?
Come get man!
God damn it. How did... Okay. Okay. That's sure. Okay. Well, I was going to ghost through this, but now I might just kill all these people. Oh, I love a killing. Probably Trihexia, but then again, my younger self couldn't afford it. Yeah, I generally do sleep better, Ross. I still have the bad night now and again, don't mistake me, but overall, my difficulty sleeping has gotten noticeably better. Was I like half a second too late on that? Whatever. Hitman mode.
And this is why I urge every member of my staff, every man and woman dedicated to the true mission of the Humanity Front, to do the same. I say yes. If you're watching this, I beg you, do not allow misplaced anger to destroy everything we have struggled to achieve.
It's over. He knows I can't come back from that.
Yeah, you were hung out to dry.
Everybody knows, Sandoval. You can't hide from what you've done.
what I've done, Mr. Jensen. I spent years patching people back together from augmentation botch jobs and systemic organ rejection brought on by implants. And now, because of Bill's betrayal, I'll never practice medicine again.
You really want to help someone? Tell me where Sarif's scientists are.
I wish I could, Mr. Jensen. But my involvement ended right after I failed to remove their GPLs.
You failed?
Turns out, my surgical skills weren't good enough to bypass David Sarif's insurance policy. So for all I know, those little implants are broadcasting right now, on a frequency so low your network specialist wouldn't think to look for it.
You changed the frequencies.
You have your answers, Mr. Jensen. And I've lost all of mine. The courts may think I have much to atone for, but my court will be a higher one.
Are we just gonna let him commit suicide then?
How about I take that gun with me when I go?
You got everything you came for. Please, just leave.
Believe it or not, I'd rather you didn't kill yourself.
That's because you have no idea what tortures I've endured. The guilt, the shame. I was told the scientists would be used to find a peaceful solution to the augmentation crisis. Instead, I was involved in kidnapping and murder. My life ended that night. It's time for me to go.
Think about it. Are you really in such a hurry to face that higher court of yours?
At least there are no lies before God. Did you see that abominable press conference? William Taggart all but accused me of terrorism. He claimed that all the violence committed in the name of our cause was the result of my influence.
So stay alive long enough to tell him your side of the story.
He already knows it isn't true. I trusted that man. For years I gave him loyal service, and he betrayed me. He sacrificed my freedom and good name to save the reputation of his organization. It's no use fighting him. He'll just spin it again. At least if I die, he'll never be able to use me again.
I like how his personality traits are irrational, insecure, and apathetic.
So tell your side of the story to the press. Swear at your trial that you're a better person than him. You want a peaceful solution to the augmentation crisis? Every camera in the country is going to be pointed at you. Use it to make a case. Convince people.
Bill Taggart already controls public opinion. You can try to lift my spirit all you want, Mr. Jensen, but the facts don't change. To think I believed that my life could be spent helping people. What foolish arrogance. I was a failure as a doctor and as a political lobbyist, but I didn't learn my lesson. I had to try one last time. I had to go too far. I should have known better. But I was a born loser, Mr. Jensen. And I am fated to die as one.
I hear what you're saying. You care too much. I know what that's like. Too well. Because I've been there. You want to fix everything right away. You want it so much you start trying too hard. Trust me, if you deal with the smaller, easier stuff first, the big things don't look so big.
I care too much? I try too hard? Your empathy would be touching if it wasn't so condescending. I just told you everything I touch ends in failure. Don't tell me you know what that's like. No one does.
Oh, complete failure.
Get this. The GPLs are still trying.
I'm going to try that again. Hang on. That was a complete failure on my part. Wow. I did the super hard boss. No problem. First try, no reloads. And this guy is just, death. I forget the exact number, Spartan, but I was operating at, I think, like 10% of my my intake through my nose. Come on back. I know you're there.
If Sandoval doesn't come out of there in a few minutes, I'm going in.
No, you're not. You don't know what to do.
Your police can go in there and talk.
Hell no. I don't want to walk in on him. He might be scared and start popping off shots. Just let him sort out the mess by himself.
Faster. Faster. Apparently, Blade Duvall. That feels like it's an insult. They're still doing whatever. Might as well refill some mines while we're here. Quite a few, actually. I'm not sure I can reach those. I mean, the dialogue bosses have been good in this whole game. It's one of its highlights, I would say. Also, probably the right approach for a boss encounter in a stealth game.
You're here. You better come out.
Like, when I think of stealth, what I think of is something more along the lines of this. This is a boss battle for a stealth game, right? Right here. That's always, they're all dead. Look, I need that revolver round. Like, well, you understand. See, that's what Thief needed. Dialogue bosses. This is when you say it had dialogue bosses. I legitimately don't remember. Yeah, I won't be greedy and go after the mines. Good stealth bosses that aren't dialogue. I mean, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the end from Metal Gear Solid 3. I'm moving slow. How did that send off? How did that happen? I was walking. Metal Gear Solid 4. Well, Metal Gear Solid 4 does exist. That's true. Actually, unironically, I think one of the best bosses in Metal Gear Solid 4 is the first one. I don't remember her name, but it's the octopus. It's the octocamo lady. There we go. Okay. So let's see how much of that we can skip here, shall we? Nice.
How about I take that gun with me when I go?
You got everything you came for. Please, just leave.
Believe it or not, I'd rather you didn't kill yourself.
That's because you have no idea what tortures I've endured. The guilt, the shame. I was told the scientists would be used to find a peaceful solution to the augmentation crisis. Instead, I was involved in kidnapping and murder. My life ended that night. It's time for me to go.
Think about it. Are you really in such a hurry to face that higher court of yours?
At least there are no lies before God. Did you see that abominable press conference? William Taggart all but accused me of terrorism. He claimed that all the violence committed in the name of our cause was the result of my influence.
So stay alive long enough to tell him your side of the story.
He already knows it isn't true. I trusted that man. For years I gave him loyal service, and he betrayed me. He sacrificed my freedom and good name to save the reputation of his organization. It's no use fighting him. He'll just spin it again. At least if I die, he'll never be able to use me again.
So that's your plan? Just lay down and die so you can't be used again? That's bullshit. You need to face what's coming. There's a very thin line between martyr and victim, Sandoval. And if you pull the trigger, you won't be remembered as either.
You certainly like taking chances, Mr. Jensen. But your point has merit. Maybe I did give up too easily. Early on, I decided my life's purpose was to help people. But I failed as a doctor. Because by the time I see augmentation patients, it's too late. So I went to Humanity Front. And that wasn't improving anyone either. I was an idiot to think this would turn out differently from everything else I've tried.
You've got to be kidding me. You can do anything you put your mind to. You've earned yourself a doctorate. You became second in command to one of the most powerful men in the country. And you still kept trying harder. You've got more spirit than most people who think they're successful.
Thank you, Mr. Jensen. I never thought of it that way. How did it come to this? People died in that kidnapping, and I helped plan it. I might as well have killed those people myself. I can no longer look my wife in the eyes, and she's the person I love and trust more than anyone in this world. There's simply no place for me among humanity anymore.
We all have problems, Sandoval. We all have something to atone for. You, me, even Taggart. Your wife will understand that, as will the rest of your family. They'd rather see you live and atone for what you've done than watch you die in shame. Whatever lies ahead, they aren't gonna let you face it alone.
I wish I had your certainty, Mr. Jensen. But you are correct. For the sake of my family, I must give this another try. Take the gun. I don't need it anymore.
Pritchard, get this. The GPLs are still transmitting. Sandoval switched them to a lower frequency.
But they could be broadcasting anywhere in the world. I don't have the type of equipment we'll need to find them.
It's our only lead, Pritchard. You have to do something.
I know. Listen. The riot's still blocking the street entrance. Head back to your apartment and Malik will fly you over. Maybe by the time you get here, I'll have figured out something.
On maintaining a safe
Also, I'm gonna take that gun.
and an ethical approach to
And it's one ammo. Worth it!
We invite critics and members of the UN to tour our facilities firsthand. They will find nothing but order, progress, and more.
I mean, yeah, obviously, Luke. Jokes aside, of course we're going to take the gun. $150 rounds now on the minigun. I'll accept that. I don't know, Spartan. I'm probably in the minority here, but I actually rather enjoyed the final boss of Metal Gear Solid 4 from both axes.
Access granted.
Let me take that back about the conductors. They did take in our poor and outcasted and ostracized, shut by their own government. But Steve over there is fine. He's given me full
Okay. Now to cross town. Don't worry, it's not actually that far. I think. Yeah, no, I just want to go this way.
Fuck them cops, man.
Yeah, they can't tell us to get off the streets. We own these blocks as much as they do.
They must have locked up all our brothers.
I told you we was living in a police state.
By memory, yes, Melkor. However, I should probably mention that I've never reviewed a Metal Gear Solid game that isn't 1. So I don't actually know if that holds up upon analysis. One of the things that I remembered most about Metal Gear Solid 4 when I did replay it for the Rumination was how good the gameplay was. Like, surprisingly so. It's easy to forget that amongst the hours and hours and hours of cutscenes. Like, the stage design in 4 was limited, I think is the word I want to use there. But it was there. And the bosses were actually pretty decent for the most part.
Detroit, Toronto.
Having said that, the other one I think that could contest it is 3. 3's biggest problem was it had a lot of gimmicky mechanics. And those gimmicks, well, they're gimmicks. So sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. You know, having to heal yourself by using a precise sequence of events in the right order is not, like, the greatest. And mostly just feels just like wasting time. 5? Well, 5 probably exists. Definitely. You know, I don't actually know, Mr. Red. Three could use a proper remake, though. I'll tell you that. Like, the zone size in 3 is really, really small.
Now, followers, don't stream me now and start saying, "But Lazarus, augmentations are legal. Why, my cousin Tootie just got one the other day." Not for long.
Yeah, we'll see. The Suikoden remaster hasn't even come out yet, so who knows. Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 3 suffers from quite a bit of jank. I do think it has some good core gameplay under that, but...
Nice detective work, Jensen. You ready to return to HQ?
Yeah. Let's hope Pritchard's found that frequency.
You said it.
Damn it, game. Whatever. Loading.
Hey, I got a message for you, Jensen. From Pritchard. He says he's not in the office.
Great. So what exactly am I supposed to do?
I don't know. He said you should check in with the boss.
Okay. You know, I was thinking about a potential review for several Metal Gear Solid games, and there's only two I know just, solidly. No pun intended. And that's 3 and 4.
Even if it was true that we were breeding a bunch of augmented soldiers and training them, what do they think stopping us from going home and throwing a bunch of rocks is gonna do?
Well, I guess they want the UN to see how mad they are, so the delegates will do something about it.
We're just workers anyway. Whether the footage is real or fabricated or not, the people who shot it are more powerful than they can even imagine. Think they care what the people think?
My dog must be starving.
Anyways, I meant other than one, because I've already reviewed one. But the point is, what I was trying to get at is there is one negative I would almost guaranteed give to both 3 and 4. Dialogue. I was just thinking in my head of several scenes in Metal Gear Solid 3, which, might individually qualify for dialogue negatives. Holy crap. And no, I don't mean the question mark type of thing. Just people don't talk like that at all. And it's really awkward and really weird. And in several cases, then the scene just sort of ends. Randomly and spontaneously. It's just like, what?
Megan's team might still be alive. Incredible. Someone went through a lot of effort to have us think they were dead.
I'm still in shock. Sarif gave some of us the news about our science team, Megan and the others.
Say, Adam, I saw the Picus report. It's not true about the super soldiers, is it? Besides you, I mean.
Do you really think we'd be in danger if we went out there?
Adam, I saw you on the news. I saw you take Taggart down a notch. You really showed him.
Thanks. And yeah, Death Stranding remains on the forbidden list. Activist Isaiah Sandoval arrested. Detroit police have arrested Humanity Front activist Dr. Isaiah Sandoval on charges of terrorism. Sandoval stands accused of aiding in the bloody attack on Sarif Industries 6 months ago. He was found hiding in the Detroit sewer system in an attempt to elude the police. The arrest was made after the Humanity Front founder, Bill Taggart, accused his protege of terrorism following his speech at the Mullins Convention Center. Taggart's revelation was a shock to many, as Sandoval had risen to prominence on the anti-augmentation scene by publicly advocating nonviolent solutions to the debate. Police press liaison Drew Lansing praised Mr. Taggart for his help. We need more citizens like Mr. Taggart to act like Mr. Taggart did. Without him, Sandoval might still be on the loose. Nation warned to prepare for state of emergency. Thomas Shea, executive director of FEMA, today warned the nation to be ready for emergency measures to be enacted in response to the sharp spike in domestic terrorism. He went so far as to suggest that martial law could be established if the matter is not resolved soon.
That damn Taggart and his Humanity Front crap? He caused this. He got up on his soapbox and caused a riot.
CEO of the Taiyong Medical Corporation commented on the images. I want the world to know that we at Taiyong Medical have not...
Adam, have you seen the footage everyone's talking about?
The extremely fake one? Yes.
Hey, Adam, is it too much to ask to be allowed to go home after a hard day's work?
Yes, you need to sleep in your cubicle.
We invite critics and members of the UN to tour our facilities.
Jensen, I just heard on the scanner. Cops were in the shootout with the Purity First cell, right under our feet in the sewers.
Jensen, rumors going around. What's this about Megan and her team actually being alive?
Wait, seriously, is that something we can do?
Angry rioters took to the streets in several cities this evening after viewing...
Guys? Okay. Moving on.
Christ. What's with this super soldier BS? I know we've done some work for the DoD, but come on.
Glad you're here, Mr. Jensen. Guess you didn't come in the front door, huh?
Yeah, you know me.
We're holding down the fort, Mr. Jensen. We got the whole team in to handle the situation, Adam. It's under control.
Wow. So this is all about to go to hell. No, the whole place has the stink of a level, Giga, so we're probably going to have to infiltrate it later. After the super hacker, which is you, of course, Giga, hacks their hacking. And while hacking it, we have to counter-hack your hack.
Seraph?
David's just stepped out for a moment, Mr. Jensen. But do come in. I've been hoping to meet you.
Mr. Darrow. I'm surprised you even know who I am.
David speaks very highly of you. He says that when it comes to detective work, you are like a dog with a bone. Have you found your scientist yet?
What else did David tell you?
Over the years, plenty. But today I'm here as a friend and fellow scientist. Things are getting quite turbulent out there, wouldn't you agree? So many people drunk on revolution. The United Nations being urged to intervene. And all because of the technology I created.
Things have come a long way since then.
Haven't they? And now my old friend David wants me to lead us to the Promised Land. He's asked me to invite members of the UN to Panchaea, to convince them we don't need industry regulation.
Your geoengineering project in the Arctic Ocean.
The installation couldn't have been built without the assistance of augmented workers. And when it's finished, my little hole in the ocean is going to stop global warming. A lovely photo op, wouldn't you say?
If it works.
You mean, if it doesn't kill us all?
Adam? You're back. Can I speak to you outside? Get to the helipad, son. You're going back to Hengsha Island. Frank tracked down one of the GPLs.
Only one? Is it?
Sevchenko's. But Adam, we had to call in a favor of the DOD to do it.
Meaning, the conspirators probably know I'm coming.
I didn't ask for this. Sorry. See you around, Kinnick Scout, even though you're probably already gone by this point.
You're Adam Jensen, right? The security chief here? Your men did a good job securing this building when the riot broke out.
Thanks. I'd like to think that I trained them well, but I'm a PC, not a security chief, so I have no idea. Oh, no, that's interesting. Oh god, is this... It's mesmerizing, isn't it? No, it's one of those social awkwardness situations where everyone here is thinking, why are we still watching this? But nobody wants to be the one to point it out and feel stupid. And they start to rationalize it, right? Like maybe the other people know something, I don't know. Maybe they're watching something. Okay, I'm just going to stay quiet and keep watching. And like they're all thinking that. Nobody wants to be the one to be like, what are we doing?
Boss said we're heading back to Hengsha?
Pritchard tracks Sevchenko's GPL signal. If he's alive, there's a chance the rest of them are too.
That's a pretty big leap, Jensen.
We've been making big leaps for a while now.
Whatever you say.
Yeah, we have.
You ready to get going?
No time like the present. Let's get going.
Then hop in.
Oh no, that's it. We should put the DKC show up there. I'm sure they'd like that. Or claw their eyes out, one of the two.
Bad news, Spy Boy.
Spy Boy?
Hengsha Traffic Control just revoked our clearance. We're being rerouted to another part of the city.
I don't like that. I suppose you can't just ignore them.
Yeah, right. Chinese government. I've got to comply. Bravo Echo Echo 008, proceeding to designated coordinates.
Yeah, we all saw that coming.
What the hell? We've got a sandlocked on our tail. Jensen, all systems are down. Hang on, we're going in hard. Jump, Jensen!
That was actually a pretty smooth landing. Like,
Malik, we've got company.
Horrifically smooth.
But the bird took some damage. Gonna need to patch it up before I can go.
I'll stay and cover you.
Negative. You need to get away from here and find Dr. Savchenko. I'll be fine.
Don't be a sitting duck.
Maybe, maybe not. But this is your best chance to slip by them unnoticed, and you know it. So get out of here, Jensen.
Yeah, no. Making that mistake again.
Someone's running.
I don't think I have any EMPs right now. I do have the stun gun. Yeah, I don't have any EMPs. I actually have a lot of frag grenades, though. You know what? I have a lot of frag grenades.
Someone's running. Don't pick me! He's on the run! You've had it! Roll down your weapon.
Jensen, the bird's fixed and I'm taking off. Now get on with the damned mission. And thanks, Spy Boy.
Anytime, fine girl.
Well, I had to burn through my entire supply of heavy ammo, which was not a small amount. I had like 200 rounds and over half of my frag mines, but I did it. I honestly was assuming I'd have to reload that because I knew that was coming, and I still just... Yeah, the Typhoon is... Yeah. Okay. Yeah, get some frickin' resources off the corpses here. Yeah, I'm gonna save that too. I'm gonna lock that in. Yeah, apparently holding on to the heavy was the right call too. Don't regret that particular call. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Why don't I go ahead and drop both of these, because I think the sniper's actually worth more than both. How's the shotgun? Crap! I don't know if you noticed that I switched off the shotgun the moment I fired it once, because it was just awful. I'm probably being too harsh about that, so I apologize for the exaggerativeness, but yeah, I was not a fan of that. I'll take my damage increased, silenced, laser scoped pistol. Thanks. I think that's all of them. Yeah, it's not great. That's another thing. We've been debating viscerality this whole time. So far, I would say the only guns that really are visceral for me are the revolver and the minigun. Any thoughts on that? Now, having said that, viscerality isn't just guns, but I'm specifically debating the guns right now. Because we do have the takedowns. Whoops. There we go. And yeah, Pacifist has to let her die there. Doom 3 shotgun? Ask me again when we get to Doom 3 in a few weeks. Because I don't remember.
Jensen, I've been monitoring comm activity around Hengsha. Bell Tower's looking for you. Hard.
I know. They ambushed us, Pritchard. Forced us to make an emergency landing. Malik barely got away in time.
But they're supposed to be...
The good guys?
Just give them a wide berth, Jensen. If they recognize you, they'll shoot.
Yeah, by total contrast, when we get to Doom 4 and 5, we're going to see what it's like giving viscerality positives to individual guns. Because, spoilers, that's going to happen. Oh, wow, Traxia. That's impressive. I guess, yeah, if you used Takoida's strategy of really leaning into the cloak and the candy bar chugging. Speaking of... Let's go ahead and pop one right now. Maybe, maybe. No. Come on. I'm sorry, Black Vulcan. I actually kind of agree with you on that. But, like, you prompted me to think of, like, grabbing the barrel of the gun, right? And just whap with the butt of it. Anyways, yes, I have saved Malik. I did what I wanted to do. I asked for this. I was actually worried. Fun fact, I was worried from the very beginning of this run. It was like one of the big worries I had was I wasn't going to be able to save Malik. I was going to reload, obviously, if I didn't. But, like, I don't know why, but that was a stressor in the background there. Ugh. Okay, that needs to stop happening. It also hit that person. And that person. How strange. Speaking of which, I should probably put that under foreshadowing. I have no idea, Von Falkenstein, if I did. I don't think I did. But then again, I'm getting hit with it, so I don't know. Yeah, I swore I didn't. On purpose, of course.
Or Macer.
And of course, you know, the prostitute was augmented.
Right? Everyone who was augmented has been getting strange symptoms.
I can't speak to you right now. Something is wrong.
Yeah, I like that moment. We get a blip. That's our third blip in the game. And each previous blip has been done in a place where we're isolated, so we just assume it's something wrong with us. But that blip, we see several people get hit by it at the same time. That's nice. Okay, so where the hell am I going?
That is far enough. Get back.
Jensen, it's Pritchard. Have you been watching the news?
Been a bit busy, Francis.
Jensen, the World Health Organization is advising all augmented patients to check in with Lim. There's a problem with biochip technology.
The glitches I've been experiencing.
We've all had them. So far, I can't determine why.
You heading to a clinic?
I'm running a few more tests. But since I can't exactly run them on you, and we don't know when you'll be back, you might not want to wait. Up to you.
So anyways, yeah, there's the new biochip, which we are 100% not doing. I mean, even if I hadn't played this game before, that would be a huge red flag for me as a player. But also, well, frankly, even in character...
Hey, I know you. You're the one Bell Tower is looking for. I seen your picture.
You got the wrong guy.
What's it worth to you for me to think so? Be a simple thing for me to yell out. Maybe a few credits keep my mouth shut, huh?
You... 1,500 is not a few credits.
How about I find some other way to keep it shut? Permanently.
That won't be necessary. I see now that you're much taller than the man they're looking for.
I thought you might see things that way. Now move it.
Like, I was gonna think about that, but 1,500? Screw you. Agreed, Von Falkenstein. But if you pay attention, Pritchard, who is the most straightforward and least lying person we've encountered the whole game, and he's also been the most reliable and helpful, like, aside from Malik. Like, those two people have had our back consistently the entire game. So when Pritchard says, I'm going to check it out, but you might not want to wait, what I hear there is, I want to wait. Because if the super smart guy is thinking, I'm going to go ahead and look into this before I do this, then I'm going to trust his judgment. Because, duh, you know.
So rumor has it that Hugh Darrow is going to hold some sort of surprise UN summit.
Hang on, I think I'm going the wrong way. That's because I...
Really? All I know is
That's also very valid, Loner. We are not standard grade. I'm almost positive I didn't get the upgrade on my first run, but don't quote me on that. I probably said it in the room. That too. Outsourced components. Yep. We didn't even make these chips.
Mr. Jensen, Hugh Darrow here. Please forgive this intrusion, but David assured me of your cooperation and discretion. I find myself in need of some assistance.
I'm listening.
A contact of mine, Meng Yao, is in Hengsha, waiting to fill you in. I'll upload her coordinates now.
Well, okay. Yeah, no, I noticed that. Oh no, we're not even... Like, it'll be really obvious when we get to the final level. And yeah, Darrow consistently doesn't like speaking over the airwaves. He's probably more informed about how the Illuminati operates than most people in this setting.
Let's hope he's as good as they say. Mr. Jensen, right? Thank you for your time. I am Meng Yao, an associate of Mr. Darrow's. I'm in charge of one of his divisions here in Hengsha. You come highly recommended.
Really?
Your boss described you as a most precious asset. Apparently, you are very efficient and always get the job done. We could definitely use a man like you for this operation.
Let's hope his confidence is well placed then.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Mr. Darrow doesn't trust just anyone. We need you to help us stop a group of terrorists who are threatening the Panchaea project. It is not an easy task. Are you sure you are up to it?
Okay, I'll help out.
Excellent. Here's the situation. It has come to our attention that these terrorists possess highly classified proprietary information about Panchaea. We've been able to convince them to sell it to one of our agents, a man named Lo Fei. The meeting is supposed to take place near the Alice Garden pods in the Daigong district.
And you want me to crash this meeting?
Actually, there will not be a meeting. We are sending you alone to ensure Mr. Fei's safety. The terrorists will not be expecting that, and will have the information with them on a data chip. You have to neutralize all of the sellers and retrieve the chip so you can bring it to me.
I don't get it. If Fei set up the meeting, why risk sending me in his stead? Why doesn't he or even some of your other agents drop in on the sellers and take the chip?
Because Mr. Darrow wants an absolute guarantee that there will be no casualties. We will not play by their rules. We want them arrested and questioned, then properly prosecuted and sentenced. This will require stealth and efficiency. That's why a man with your particular skills will be indispensable.
Well, good news. I'm out of heavy machine gun ammo, so...
Let's do this.
Also, possibly both, Dakota. But my knee-jerk thought is they're trying to set us up. Also, notice how we were once again backtracking across pretty much the entire zone in order to do a side quest we couldn't have gotten until we've already gone across the entire zone. The quests themselves are fine, disposable puppets. What irritates me is having to constantly traipse across the whole city every single time I get a new one. Because it's happened consistently every single side quest. But I've already complained about that enough. I will shush. Okay, so let's grab a hard save before we even start this encounter. So, non-lethal. Well, we don't have much of a line on Darrows as a person. We have a pretty good idea of who Seraph is and how he operates, as well as Twitface. There's a second side quest, Black Malkin? You're lying to me. I would not want to live in a city like this. I think I'm good. Let's switch over to our non-lethal grenade too while we're at it. Yeah, this may sound strange, considering how much of a gamer I am, but I need sunlight and air. Like, need. I get weird if I don't get both. Evening. Non-lethal. Next. So we've got the patroller, we've got the three guys over there. It looks like we got two patrollers, actually. They're facing a bad way. Okay. I can. God damn it. I lost control of him. Like, did you see that? It let go of him twice. So I didn't get him out in time. I mean, in a city like this, some guy crouching in a stairwell is probably just a Tuesday, right? Come here, come here. Those three are going to be a pain. Excuse me, those two are going to be a pain. Oh, I'll take Midgard over this 10 times out of 10. At least Midgard is a fantasy setting, which, as weird as it may sound, is not as bad as this. This is trying to be based on real life. Also, it's probably... I'm ready, Ross. It's probably a little bit, less horrible? I think is the way I'll phrase it. Yeah, they have literal healing magic in Midgar that you can buy in the store if you've got the money for it. I would not want to live in a mega city if given a choice. Okay, so... Midgar does have Hojo, that's true. Okay. Mission complete. Well, it's possible I got my math wrong. I'd go with yes, Slope. Give it a choice. Hang on. So let's hit the stream brakes. Pull up the stream thing, which is right here. Let's see. So anything over 85.68 would qualify as purple by definition, because that's in the top 1/6 of percentages. Arcane got 90.74 because of 5 reds and 4 purples. So that tracks mathematically. I see what your point is, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, that's right. That is the correct score. It is 49 out of 54. And 49 divided by 54 is 90.74. Indeed, even if you look at it over there, it's 55% red and 44% purple. So I don't know how the math lines up on that. Truthfully. Because, yeah, all of that math is correct. I'm just not sure why it's lining up that way. And I have too much of a headache to give us specifics on why right now. I didn't have much of a breakfast. What would... 5 times 9 is 45, right? What's 45 divided by...
This has nothing to do with you. Keep
64, I think? Hang on. Back over here for a second. $45 divided by 54, actually, excuse me. 45 divided by 54, which is 83, which is the high end of red. Yeah, I think you're right. I think because the base review is static, but the overall review is a gradient, I think that's why we're seeing that inconsistency. No, it's fine. It makes sense. Because, logically speaking, I have added a gradient of 16%, essentially. I think it's 16. Yeah, 16.67% to each color. So it's actually possible to have low, middle, and high of any given color. I feel like you're right. I feel like I'm missing something mathematically there, though. I'll have to take another look at that. Because, like, 45 divided by 54 puts us at 83%, which is red, but it's not the middle of red, and it feels like it should be the middle of red. Oh, no, I'm doing the numbers wrong. That's why it's 7, not 6. So the actual range is 14.28%, which is correct. Okay, that makes a degree of sense. Because zeros can exist in this system, that's what's throwing it. Because you're getting a score of 0 to 6, not 1 to 6. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. We're found. It would have been a lot more linear if I made Lamentations 1 and, you know, Purple's 7. But I didn't because I'm an idiot, so whatever. It is actually funny how often the number 0 gets in the way of my calculations. Well, yeah, no, it didn't even occur to me to give Lamentations a 1. Why would it? They're Lamentations. Either way, don't look too much at that arcane score, because that might bias your opinion on the show. Well, it's probably way too late now.
You must get that chip back, Mr. Jensen.
Yeah, done.
I got the chip. The cellars are out cold.
Excellent work. Seems Mr. Darrow was right to trust you. We will send people to take care of the terrorists. Could I see the chip?
How about you tell me what's on it first?
Blackmail, Mr. Jensen? Don't waste your time. I won't tell you anything. Besides, there are stones better left unturned. Might as well just give me the chip and leave it at that.
Alright, whatever.
Alright, take it.
Trust me, it's better like this anyway. You've done a great job. I thank you on Mr. Darrow's behalf. Even though this was a favor for Mr. Darrow, he believes you should be duly rewarded. Here is a payment in credits. I'm sure Mr. Darrow will wish to congratulate you himself. Expect to hear from him soon.
Right. Yeah. They did a disturbingly good job of writing that type of
It seems
character.
David has a flair for choosing his people, Mr. Jensen. You have done me a great service today.
Glad I could help. I just wish I knew what this was all about.
You never know, Mr. Jensen. One day, you just might.
I don't know if I'd say scum. She's just... Yeah, okay, she's scum. I take it back. Not as scummy as this guy, though. Apparently, that was not a gas grenade. That was an EMP grenade. Whoops. And by grenade, I mean mine. I don't think it was 4,000x. That would be nice. If I could get 4,000x for knocking down a cop in real life, ooh.
It seems David has a flair for choosing his people, Mr. Jensen. You have done me a great service today.
Glad I could help. I just wish I knew what this was all about.
You never know, Mr. Jensen. One day, you just might.
So, it's nice to know that I do have an EMP I could have used on that bot earlier instead of all of my freaking ammo and grenades. But whatever. Future thought. Future thought. Slipped. Literally, just slipped. I don't think I have a shock weapon. Don't flip that. Alright, well, I do have peps. That's true. It should actually... Why are these not working correctly? I need to figure out what's going on with that. But yeah, sorry, I thought I answered Black Velvet. Where is the second side quest, since we're, you know, already in the middle of this one? Now that's a nice car. Check that baby out. Oh yeah. I mean, if I were to guess, I'd say it's at the brothel. That makes the most sense. Since we already have a pre-existing chain and connection there. Oh, the limb clinic? Well, I ain't going to the limb clinic. Oh, that's awful. Especially since we know she has Augs, and the gang around here is called the Harvesters. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
You're dead man!
Okay. It's really weird how effective this gun is. Hope he's gonna hurt, but that's okay, because he's dead. Well, I'm not sure they were worth the ammo, but we did get some money out of it. Oh, there's apparently someone still alive. Let's go fix that really quick.
I saw that!
How did you live through that? Give me your ammo.
And you feel death, okay?
Stop wasting my ammo. Yeah, no, it doesn't work that way. Okay. Yeah, this is where the harvesters do their job. We're gonna not think about this as much as possible. The Oggins. Yeah, no, I don't feel bad about killing these people. Really. Yeah, and here's where they imprison people before they rip out their augments to then sell. Because they're terrible. I can give you a bullet point, like a whole presentation if I need to. Yeah, actually, I've done several Euro.
But no serious injuries were reported.
I've been trying to mix it up a little bit in both directions in order to try and review the game. It's also admittedly difficult because my default playthrough style is stealth. In fact, ghost stealth, for that matter. But there is something to be said about an explosive revolver.
I'll be waiting for you, cowboy.
Cutscene though.
That's far enough, Guaylo.
Tong.
Have we met? Because I'm sure I'd remember the man who got most of Hengsha biting its own tail to find him. A lot of bell tower heavies looking for you. Any reason I don't just turn you over?
Yeah. Vasily Sevchenko.
Never touch the stuff.
You're wearing his arm. GPL device inside it led me straight to you.
Scavenged tech. Get you every time. Wrong woman, don't do that, you hear? Sorry to say, the man I got this from wasn't in a position to complain. Bell Tower gave us his corpse a few weeks ago.
Bell Tower? Not Tai Young?
Tai Young's not the one grabbing people off my streets then giving me choice AUG, so I closed my eyes.
Sevchenko had 4 other scientists with him.
I'm not wearing any of them. So maybe they're still alive, and maybe I help you out with this.
Go on.
I've got a pretty good idea where Bell Tower's been dragging people. Problem is, bastard's got my son, and he gets a bullet if I step out of line. See where I'm going with this?
Where's he being held?
One of my harvester boys will tell you all about it. Meet him in the sewers near the Alice Garden pods. Then, when you free my boy, come back and we talk some more.
I can hardly wait.
Oh, there's the laser rifle. I do want the laser rifle. So, goodbye, sniper rifle. It's nice knowing you. No, that was correct. God dang it. Yeah, so it's a laser rifle. I don't know what else to add to that. Also gonna take that and that. And then we're gonna save. So, yeah, he's actually invincible. Completely invincible. It's one of the worst, what do we call this? Because we encounter this in Starfield as well. There's essential flags, and then there's invisible flags, right? Kid flags, I think we called them. So yeah, this guy is a kid flag. He is not there. I don't know why they decided of all people this guy would have that flag, but he does, as I just demonstrated. Let me get my ammo back. So yeah, unfortunately, Luke, I cannot give him a bullet. Yeah, I can understand the use of essential flags. I can. Child flags just irritates me. Is this the DLC yet? No, we're not there yet. Because I've never actually played it. I don't think I have.
Are doing jack smack shit. Tell me something. How can medicinal technology and knowledge make huge leaps, but the diseases these technologies are supposed to be fighting are getting worse? How does that make any sense? AIDS isn't the only virus making a comeback. Tuberculosis is back in the game too. India today reported a 32% increase in tuberculosis deaths.
Okay, Missing Link, that's what it's called. Yeah, I'm almost positive I haven't done Missing Link, or if I have no particular memory of it. Yeah, exactly, von Falkenstein. You know what also makes it feel less realistic, Yura? Shooting at a child and having nothing happen. There's also the concept of the pacifism zone, which actually a lot of games have. So I can pull out my gun here and I could shoot things, because this is not a pacifism zone. But a pacifism zone, you literally cannot arm yourself. Can't even attack, right? It's not a perfect method, but it does. It is a way to ensure that certain types of NPCs will never be attacked, because you literally can't.
Back again to Detroit, where a handful of people were taken into custody
Exactly,
this
Black
evening,
Vulcan.
following yet another anti-augmentation demonstration. This time, patients attempting to access the 2nd Avenue Limb Clinic found their route blocked by supporters of the Humanity Front movement. The pro-human organization had received permission to gather in protest earlier in the week, but police decided to shut down the legal rally prematurely and closed the Broadview Tunnel. Perhaps they feared what might happen once the hostage situation at Seraph Industries resolved. Regardless, several violent skirmishes did break out, but no serious injuries were reported. This is Eliza Cassan, reporting to you live from Picus.
I think Beth Starfield also did have some pacifism zones, yeah.
This evening, following
Pretty sure. Anyway, sorry about killing all your people, but at the same time, I'm really not. So, screw all y'all. You're all dead. Moving on. I'll come back to kill you more when I come back and you inevitably betray me, like an idiot. Because you know they're gonna. They're gonna be like, "Ah, we'll kill you." And it's like, you sure? Yes, we'll kill you.
But police decided to shut down the
Okay.
legal rally prematurely and closed the broadcast.
The problem is, several games, Skyrim comes to mind immediately, don't use pacifism zones in town because they have quests which are centered around the idea of doing damage in town. So they want the player to be able to do that in town. What? I really could use a vendor. Okay, let's drop that. I hate to. Well, no, hang on. Is that a... Nope, that's the EMP. I kind of want to sell the silencer, but it might not be worth the money, which is why I'm debating it. These 5 shotgun rounds probably aren't worth a lot. So let's toss those. That was going to be my next thought. Disposable puppets. Yeah, let's find a frickin' vendor and offload some of my crap. I know there's one at the pods. And one at the brothel. If I'm remembering correctly. I thought about it, Luke. I really did. I can just walk up to him. Free ammo. Okay, where am I? Where am I? Nowhere near either of the 2 things I just mentioned. Great. Oh, really? Great. Well, shoot. Okay. Stutter.
Best in town.
Good to know. Okay, so sell all that. All that. Almost sold my heavy on accident. Oh god, I have no guns to sell at this point. Just for the 10mm. What about the exploding rounds? Just for the revolver. Damn. Target seeking is just for the 2 things I'm not using, and the burst round is just for the shotgun. Okay.
Yeah, I will be right here.
Well, that didn't open that up as much as I was hoping. Yeah, I might have to just live with that at this point. I don't want to lose any of these guns. With the only one I even might lose is the Peps, and I do need to make a point of using that damn thing to decide if I'm going to hold on to it or not. Well, I'm not going to get rid of the revolver. I'm not going to get rid of the pistol. I'm not going to get rid of the stun gun, and I'm not going to get rid of the heavy. Those are all locked in. So that just leaves the laser rifle, which, I mean, and the Peps. I could get rid of my painkillers. Or my hydrostims. Hypostims, excuse me. Let's play around with the Peps next mission. See how that feels. There we go. I mean, that is on the list, Mr. Red. I don't think it's anywhere near funded, though. I don't think Mankind Divided... Can someone check? Is Mankind Divided on the list? That would be an interesting thing, because we already have... no, the list, not the queue. Try exit. We already have Thief 1, 2, and 3, as well as Dishonored 2 as part of a block.
You shouldn't be here. Get moving.
Hang on. I'm turned around. I missed my turn, literally.
You shouldn't be here, sir. Get moving.
Sorry, I lost my turn, okay? Give me a break. Yeah, that sounds like absolutely nowhere. But thank you for checking. I don't think we'll manage to finish this game today. We're not even at the final stage yet. I'm going to be honest, though. I have sort of left most of my memory of the missions of this game. I remember the last mission pretty distinctly, and I remember some of the stuff we've already done pretty well. And there's like a gap, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, then we have Missing Link, which I've never even done.
Boys.
No.
Jesus.
I just like hanging out in the sewers because they smell better than what I ate for breakfast. Any other stupid questions?
Not yet. But if I come up with one, I'll be sure to ask. Where's the kid?
We thought he was in the upper city, holed up nice and tight inside the bell tower compound. But as it turned out, the fox got nervous. Didn't like the look of Tong's flex stick, so they moved his son someplace safer.
What could be safer than inside bell tower headquarters?
You're about to find out, Migrant. They're holding him just around that corner in the basement of an old noodle factory. Won't be easy getting him out either, because the men guarding him aren't your typical bell tower police. These are warriors, specially trained, heavily augmented.
I have a feeling I may have met them before. If that's the case, you got an escape plan?
You are the escape plan, my friend. Didn't Tong tell you? If Bell Tower finds out anyone else is involved, things are going to get very ugly in Lower Hengsha.
So Tong's willing to risk his kid's life on one man's abilities.
Not necessarily. When you get to Tong's son, give him this. He'll know what to do with it. Now get going. Wouldn't want you to miss your next ride.
Jesus Christ. Sound balance. Tell me this was made, like, months after the main game without telling me it was made months after the main game. Now that I'm legally deaf. Where are we at on Praxis, speaking of which? That's what I thought. I'm going to finally grab that radar upgrade I've been sitting on for a while now. And I think I'll keep sitting on the rest for now. Let's pause here. I'm developing more and more of a headache. I think I need to have lunch. And we'll come back and we'll do this DLC. Which I'm not even sure I've done this DLC. So yeah, we're not finishing anytime this week. Maybe next month. Maybe next year. Who knows?